Hey there, beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I know what the reason why you clicked on this video. Most likely you are planning to learn Chinese, or you are just about to start your journey with learning Chinese. And so I decided to share with you guys my tips that I used that worked for me because I can fluently speak Chinese. So how to learn Chinese, or how do you become fluent in Chinese? If you are a foreigner learning Chinese for the first time, how do you get it right just to become fluent as all the other foreigners in China that are speaking Chinese fluently? So guys, I should tell you that learning Chinese, I know, is one of the hardest things that I've ever done, but it's really hard to learn Chinese, especially if you're outside China. I think that is even harder, but if you're inside China, it becomes a little bit easier because the environment is really suitable for you to learn Chinese. And so I don't see the reason why not you cannot speak fluent Chinese by now. So guys, I would also highlight that these tips also works best for those who had like 1 year are planning to learn intensive Chinese course for 1 year, because I did that. I learned I had 1 year of intensive Chinese, and that really helped me to learn Chinese faster and more fluently. I know also that Chinese is a language that is really complex. It has a long history, and learning Chinese fluently does not mean you can read everything and say everything and understand completely, because you can go to the class, you can be so fluent but still go to the class and you're like, what are you saying in class? You get it. But these tips definitely will help you to just they will help you to become better at your Chinese if you follow them. So tip number 1, when I was learning Chinese in the first year of my intensive Chinese course, what I always try to do every morning is watch Chinese TV. So I would watch Chinese TV, basically, whether it's news or anything that I could listen to, audio. I'll just listen to a lot of audio in the morning, every morning when I wake up, because it was gonna help me. This helped me so much with my listening skills, because yeah, you're listening to Chinese TV or TV serials or like radio or something every morning. That will just definitely help you with your listening skills. And tip number 2 that I used to learn Chinese fluently is my first year of intensive Chinese course. I made sure that I memorized as many words as possible that I could get my hands on. So all those books that I got from my teacher at that time, or my tutor at that time, I tried to memorize all those words, because honestly, there's no other way. If you want to learn more words in Chinese, you just have to memorize them, learn them, know how to practice on them, how to write them more, practice on how to write them, to use them more, and just practice and become perfect at those words. Because as I mentioned earlier, that Chinese is really complex. It has so many other characters that you come across, but the ones that you know, at least they'll still help you to live a little bit easier and become good in your Chinese. Okay, so tip number 3 that I used is I always tried my best to go out in the local communities and just speak with Chinese people. Like, I would make a lot of Chinese friends and just speak to those Chinese people, just practice my Chinese with anyone that I find on the street. Whether it's like me going to buy a snack food from the street or going to buy from the restaurant, I always try to use my Chinese. And by the way, in the first year when we started learning Chinese that year, it was really hard, and we were surrounded by a lot of foreigners. But at the end of the day, some foreigners didn't want to speak Chinese just randomly as possible, and they would even tease you and diss you and laugh at you like, why are you speaking Chinese? Like, why are you speaking Chinese? You get it. But the very important thing, if you are learning Chinese, the very first thing that you need to do is practice as you are stepping out of the door. Practice with anyone, whether it's a foreigner who's also learning Chinese, whether it's a local person. Just practice and talk to these native speakers of the language, and trust me, with that you will learn Chinese very fast. And so tip number 4, the way I also learned to another tip that I used to learn my Chinese is, of course, then the last tip is the intensive course. The intensive Chinese course will really help you to elevate your skills in Chinese, whether it comes to listening, writing, talking, listening and writing. It just does help you so much. So you need to sign up for an intensive course, whether it's online. Now you can study online, or you can do it face to face. But if you don't have that time, then do an intensive course online. It will just really help you, because I know some foreigners who come to China and they study like Chinese course for like 6 months, and they don't even catch up with anything, and they come out of that course and they feel like I didn't learn anything. So you definitely need that intensive course for you to just upgrade and elevate the level of your Chinese skills. So guys, I think those are basically the tips on how I learned Chinese faster and how I became fluent in my language. But up to date, it's a continuous process of learning Chinese, because I'm telling you, it's a complex language that does not you just don't stop learning a language. You will always pick up a new word each and every day when you go outside. So guys, I wish you that these tips will help you to become better in your Chinese, and I hope that you are enjoying your stay in China. Guys, until my next video, I will urge you to stay humble, stay positive, and work hard towards your goals. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.